Welcome back to another video. It's me, the real Melanin, came back with another one. And today I'm revealing to y'all my dream car. I finally got it at 22 years old. And of course it's a finance channel, so we gotta keep financially related. So that means in this video I'm gonna reveal to y'all what my credit scores look like when I got this car, what the final purchase price was, what the interest rate's looking like, what my monthly payment look like, what the insurance is looking like, financial related. So we gotta keep it all financial related, all right? Right now I'm just gonna give y'all a quick tour of exactly what the car looking like. Go ahead and check it out. Quickly say getting this car is truly a blessing because I've been wanting to get this car for so long. My first dream car was actually Camaro, and I got that when I was 18 years old from working a 9 to 5. Getting a car like this, you can't just really get a car like this from just having a traditional 9 to 5. You either gotta have a really high paying job or you have to start your own business, and I took the latter. That's exactly what I did. Started my own business, and eventually I was able to manifest that. I'm gonna tell the story of how I was able to actually manifest this car all later on in the video, but right now I just want to get an up close and personal view of what the car actually looking like. As you can see right here, look at that Corvette logo. And of course, this is a convertible. This is a 2LT. This is a 2LT convertible drop top. I'm gonna drop the top in a bit so y'all can see. Right here on the side, I got my logo right here. Real Melanin, add me on the Instagram. That's what it's looking like. We got the white and black interior. We actually finna get in here right now. I got the carpet, or the rug, I'll say. I got a little bit of rug on the seat. Well, not rug, what was it, towel? I can't even talk. All right, towel. As y'all can see right here, that's what it's looking like. So everything looks like the interior. We're gonna get into it. And I got the Bose 14 speakers, you already know, because this right here is the 2LT. That's the trim level on that. That's what the interior looking like. Man, this car is so amazing. This is looking like. I'm actually gonna get a shot from my actual phone because I'm trying to show y'all what it's looking like, but the lens I got on this camera is like more close-up lens. So I'm actually gonna put like an overlay or something like that, or actually just record my phone just so I do the 0.5 so y'all can really see what the interior looking like. Cause man, this camera is not doing it justice, cause in person this car is crazy. Corvette C8, 22 years old, driving a Corvette. It's been absolute dream of mine to actually drive one of these cars. Real quick, let's just go ahead and look at what the front of the car looking like. Let's pull up in the front. Let's see what the engine looking like. Of course, I'll show y'all what the engine looking like. My guy Nee, cameraman, this was looking like. This is the engine right here, y'all. Hold on, what's going on? Where the engine at? What's going on? Where's the engine? For y'all don't know, this is a mid-engine car. That means we get all the sounds right here. And then since this is a drop top convertible, because you know all of them, if you got the coupe, the regular coupe, you can't really, well, you have to manually pick up the actual top of the car and put in your trunk. But if you get the convertible one, you don't, that's the trade-off you get actually. You don't actually get to see, because for the regular coupes, it's actually transparent right here. You can actually see the actual engine, but it's really all I get. I don't really get none. So we do got a frunk. That's what it is. I keep a little bit of extra stuff. It was stated that a human actually can fit in here. I don't know how, like, how that's really gonna work, but it said a small person could fit in here. And then right here, we still got a trunk and the trunk and the front. So that's actually really amazing, as you can see. Really small trunk space. You can't really do too much grocery shopping with this. Just gotta watch, so can't really do too much shopping with this. That's what it's looking like. Man, this car is beautiful. I'm gonna get a more distance. Y'all can see what it's looking like. 2LT, that's what caliper's looking like. I'm actually gonna change the rim to all black and have the blue underglow lights. But I actually live in Illinois, so it's freezing cold right now. Blue calipers as well too. It's freezing cold and it's snowing. Snow time, we in the winter time. So I'm actually, because I gotta put it up for the winter time. So I'm actually just not even gonna bother doing all of the adjustments and everything like that, all the modifications to the car until summertime come back around, and that's when we actually gonna go crazy. So for anybody watching me for specifically finance, y'all can, you know, watch for that too. But if you wanna know a little bit about the car, I am gonna do a little bit more about the car, give a little more reviews about the car. Like I said, I am gonna get into the numbers, what the numbers looking like, and everything, what the credit scores looking like, everything like that, because once again it's a finance channel. We got to keep it financial related. All right, let's go right here and go inside real quick. Turn this on right here. This is actually for, if you got a phone, you can slide your phone in here and then actually charge your phone for you. You got the Corvette logo. Really nice touch. Nice touch. And of course, push to start. That's everything looking like. Got the Apple CarPlay. I kind of did want the carbon fiber interior, but got this instead. I'm actually going to tell the story on how I got everything started. Looking like my girl got her stuff over there. We got the WeatherTech floor liners right here. You can bring the side mirrors in. Move that. I'm actually gonna show what the drop top looking like. So that's what it's looking like with the top down. I love it. This is my favorite feature of the car, man. I'm a drop top person. I love convertibles, so having this feature is actually a huge selling point for me. I need my convertibles, man. All my cars, my last 3 cars have all been convertible. So I need that convertible look. Summertime, you get all the attention in this right here. So that's what it's looking like again with the top back down. And right here, everything on the top side is for anybody on the actual driver's side. Everything on the bottom side is for the passenger seat. You can control. They got heated seats, they got cool seats and everything. Control the temperature all right here. Everything on play with, everything's all right here. I really love this. Actually, I really like how compressed the space is. I can't really get it on this camera, but I like how compressed the space is. There's a huge, like, this thing is just blocking off me and a passenger person, in the passenger seat, and I kind of like that. It just feels so confined. And me personally, I like that. The only issue I have about the car that I would say is actually this right here. That's really my only issue, because this is so inconvenient. I'll show y'all. You have to slide your phone in here, and you can't use your phone while it's charging, really, like, because it's auto back there. So to me, it's so inconvenient. You really can't use that because you're on the road. I mean, you have the Apple CarPlay. If you need GPS, it's right there, but not everybody got iPhones, you know. I got an iPhone, you know, because we got it like that. Not everybody got iPhones, but it's like actually really inconvenient to actually have that charging port all the way back there. But actually, real quick, talk about manifestation. How I was able to manifest this car. So literally sometime in 2022, my friend was like, oh, you know, we trying to get out, you know, at that point I was still working a 9-to-5 and everything. My friend was like, okay, cool, like let's actually go to a luxury car dealership and actually start test driving the cars that we want. And I'm like, I don't really see a point of that. He like, it's all about manifestation. You know, I was like, you know what? I believe in manifestation. Let's go ahead and do that. Because one of the things I was thinking in my head was, I'm not quite sure if they would allow us to just test drive the car. You know, we got a bunch of kids come up there. At that point, I think I was 21 and my friend was 19. And we went up there, they were like, okay, we'll actually let you test drive it. I'm like, okay, cool. And I actually test drove a C8. Actually, no, it was C7. It was C7. Yeah, I test drove a C7 and I fell in love with it. And I'm like, yo, I need one. Like at that point, it was already my dream car, but actually test driving it was amazing. And that was a C7. I really didn't want a C7 because of the front. It was too long, but I got to test drive a Corvette in general. And that was my next dream car. So right after that, I actually told the car dealership, right, to send me a picture of the actual car. Now, what I did was I put it down like a security deposit, because they wanted to make it look like I was serious. So I put on $500 security deposit. I'm thinking about it. I'll be back. I ain't have the money to actually get it, but I was trying to get in that mindset. It was, I can get this car and make them think that I could get this car too, right? And I'm like, and they let me test drive it. I'm like, I put $500 on it. They reimbursed it after I didn't actually get the car. So they reimbursed me the $500 and that was that. But I have them send me a picture of the actual car. And what I did was I actually printed it out and put it on my wall. And I started looking at it every single day and telling myself I was going to get it. And I took a notebook. I took out a piece of notebook, and I started writing down every single day. I fill up the whole entire page. Every single day I flip the whole entire page. I'll buy a Corvette C8, and I was writing out, I'll make $100,000. And I put a specific time frame on it as well too. So it was about 12 months from now. I'm like, I'll buy a Corvette C8. I'll make $100,000. I just kept writing out every single day. Now, remind you, at that point, I was nowhere near actually achieving those goals at all. I was still working a 9-to-5. I was nowhere near, but I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I knew I was going to get there. Because when I was 18 years old, I set a goal for myself that I would become rich by the time I turned 22. I'll be making money and not working a 9-to-5 by the time I turned 22. I set that goal when I was 18 years old, and I was able to accomplish it. And literally and up to that point, I had made really no growth to the point where I could be like, oh yeah, for sure, I can quit my job this year, And so I was really worried. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, like my time frame I set is actually coming up and I have not achieved those goals. So I need to actually get on my stuff. You know, I don't want to be cussing on this channel, but I need to get on that grind. But I also got happy because I knew it was a goal I set for myself when I was 18 years old. So no matter what, I knew somehow it was going to come to me because I believe in manifestation. I envisioned myself at a young age that undoubtedly I'm going to achieve these goals. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So I set that time frame. 2022 comes, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I know by the end of the year, I'm not gonna be working. I'm gonna be in a position to make $100,000 and close to get my dream car. And those were the goals every single day. Of course, I missed some days. I'm not gonna be sitting right here every single day. I wrote it down, but I missed some days. But every day I was going back and trying to make sure I jot down. And I filled up the whole entire page from a regular notebook, a school notebook. And that was how I essentially manifested this car. Like I'm telling you, I was working a 9-to-5 job, making $2,000 a month. And 6 months from there, I was able to make my first 5-figure month. I was able to make 10K per month. 6 months from that time, I just locked in, stayed on the grind, and literally at that point, nothing had changed other than my consistency. I just started being more consistent. Instead of trying this side hustle, I picked one business model and stuck to it. That's what I did. All right, to get to that next level. We're actually gonna transition real quick. I'm gonna transition into my room and I'm gonna break down all the numbers it took for getting this car, my credit score and everything like that. All right, let's go. I just got home. Now, as I promised y'all, it's time to talk about all the specs of the car. So we're talking about how much the Illinois taxes was looking like, what my credit score was looking like when I got the car, interest rate, the insurance, my monthly payment, the total car price, and how much time it took me to actually search for the car. All right, when I first actually trying to buy the car, I was looking for it about 2 to 3 months. I started looking right around April, so I've had it for a little bit now. I was looking for it right around April. And of course, I wanted it to be brand new. So I actually started off by actually going to the Chevy website and actually trying to create my own build. First, I wanted the all red interior. And for that, you had to go to a 3LT, which was maxing out on all the specs and everything. I'm like, okay, the price was definitely in the like 120, right around there. And I'm like, I was actually trying to stay right around the 80,000 range. So this would be pushing me way over what I was really trying to go over. So I was like, man, I really wanted this. I'm like, am I willing to go over there? I ain't want to be paying no $2,000 a month for just the note. I'm looking like, man, is this a good idea? I'm actually just kind of dial down and just go back a little bit because I actually wanted a gray exterior and red interior. But once again, if I wanted the all red interior, I had to go to 3LT. And I didn't want to do a 1LT because of the fact that it didn't come with the Bose 14 speakers. So I wouldn't have the best quality speakers. And you didn't get a lot of the safety precautions that actually come with the car, right? Like for example, the side mirror actually has a sensor that tracks any car that's next to you on both sides. If you have the 1LT, you don't actually get that. 2LT and 3LT, you actually get that. And driving a Corvette is a huge blind spot right over your shoulder. Everything is all covered up, so you can't see none of that. And the side mirror will not pick up on a lot of stuff unless you actually have that sensor, because like it's saved me a countless amount of times where I literally cannot see my blind spot. I don't see any car there, but the sensor is showing something, so I'm not even gonna make this move, right? So, and I speed up a little bit now eventually, or the car comes speed past me and I eventually see the car. So 100% is worth it. If you're going to get a Corvette C8, I do not recommend going with a 1LT. You know, it depends on where you live, right? I live in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, and the highways are pretty busy. Having that 1LT was gonna be very detrimental, so it was not even worth it. So I'm glad I went with the 2LT actually. Once again, I want the red interior. So I was looking for about 2 to 3 months. I actually went to the Chevy dealership itself and I was seeing if they had any available. I was looking for, I'm like, I could do red exterior or gray exterior, right? Something like that. I really didn't want to go with the red, but I love red, but the only thing is my Camaro was already a red. So I was like, I don't want another red. So I have to do something a little bit different. And I wanted to do the hypersonic gray because it would look really nice with the red interior, because I saw a picture or a video online like that. I'm like, this is beautiful. I gotta have it. That was my mindset going into it, looking for the car. So when I went to the actual dealership, the Chevy dealership that was by my house, they was kind of looking at me because, you know, I went in with some sweats, some joggers, and then a hoodie on. And I walked in there and they just looking at me like, okay, you want a Corvette? I'm like, yeah. Like, okay, we don't got nothing right now. That's what we got available. They only had the coupes. Once again, I did not want a coupe. The reason why I don't want a coupe is I don't want to be picking up my car at the top of my car, taking out the trunk and put it on the actual car when it's raining, it's pouring out or it's snowing or something like that. Well, I'm not really going to drive in the snow, but if it starts snowing, anything, whatever is happening, whatever going on, I don't want to have to pull my car over, pick up my actual hood of my car, like the top of my car out the trunk and put it on top of the car. That was one thing I did not want to do. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go with the coupe, right? I'm just gonna do the convertible. I get a remote, drop that top, that's that. I ain't even gonna deal with none of that other stuff. I made my mind, it had to, well, that was a deal breaker to me. If it was not a convertible, that was a deal breaker. I did like the fact that you can see the transparent back for the coupes, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice if it means I get my convertible and I can use the key to actually let the top up and down. That's what I'm going with. But I got the Chevy dealership. They're like, okay, we'll put you on the list, you know, and then it was telling me actually it was gonna take about 6 months if I want a brand new. Actually, well, it took me 4 months, but I did my research online. Everybody was saying about 6 months to a year to actually get their Corvettes. And I'm like, okay, well, I live in a snowy area, so 6 months down the line is going to be snowing 9 times out of 10. I didn't really want to go with that because like even now it was just snowing a couple days ago, and I wouldn't, this by now is when I would be getting the car, and I didn't want to do that. So I was like, at that point, I wouldn't be able to drive that car, be paying a note on it. I won't be able to drive the car all the way up until the following summer. So I'm like, I want to drive it now. So I started looking around. I'm like, okay, in this case, I got to get it used, right? So I got to get a used one. I started looking all on car gurus. That was actually the spot I found the car. I started looking all around car gurus, and I scattered through a bunch of them. And I'm like, okay, since I'm looking, I'm this serious, I might as well go ahead and get the actual pre-approval because I don't want to pull up to the dealership and I'm not even ready, right? And then these dealers, like say I found something really interesting, I don't really know what my budget is because at the end of the day, I can want this car, but if I'm not pre-approved for it, what are you gonna do? And then these dealerships, their job is to get you pre-approved, so they're gonna run your credit score as much as possible. And you know, I'm a credit whiz over here, right? As we talk about the credit god, and I'm not gonna go to no dealership and have them run my credit score, 10, 20 times. I'm leaving with a 10, 20 hard increase, you know, tanking my credit score, because that was a mistake I made when I got my Camaro. I didn't know better, and that's what happened with me. So I learned from my mistake, and I'm like, let me get this pre-approval. So I tried a soft pull, did a soft pull for Chase. I was actually gonna go with a credit union, but I didn't have any relationships with any credit unions. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I just tried any bank I was already banking with, because I already have that relationship. So I actually tried Chase. I was going to do Bank of America, but then I had got a good pre-approval with Capital One. Capital One gave me $75,000 pre-approval, and Chase gave me right around like a little bit over $60,000 pre-approval. So I was looking like, okay, I definitely can't go with Chase because then I'm gonna have to put down a huge down payment. But if I'm looking right around the 80 range, I can be right around the 80 range. That's still pretty cool, right? Because I wanted to put down $10,000 and I would get right into that. I told him I'll put like 10K, you know, because I wanted to put down as little as possible. I didn't care about what the note was as long as I can keep that money for the down payment so I can actually use that to invest elsewhere. So I can make a lot more money, you know, investing that money elsewhere versus actually giving it to them. So I wanted my down payment to be as low as possible. I told them $10,000. I'm looking for the car. Once again, it took me about 2 to 3 months to actually get the car. And then I actually got the pre-approval while looking for the car, right? Like a few weeks prior to getting the car, or about a week prior to getting the car, I got pre-approved for $75,000. My credit score is at a 750 credit score. That's what I was looking at. 750, 760, right around that range. 750, 760 credit score. That's what I was looking like for anybody that was wondering. I got pretty cool. Everything was looking pretty good, of course. I'm like, okay, that's pretty decent. I didn't know what the interest rate was going to be. I don't think they gave me what the interest rate was going to be. I'm not really quite sure. I don't remember. But I eventually, of course, by the time I got the car, I knew what the interest rate was, which we get to that. So I'm looking on car gurus, and I actually found one that was really beautiful. It was the one I got now, which is the blue color. And the only problem was it said gray interior. I'm like, gray interior sounds ugly as shit. I was looking like, okay, I don't want to do no gray interior because of that. Like, it didn't sound too good. So I'm like, I bet. Let me kind of see what it's gonna look like in person. So actually, because like on the actual pictures, it looked kind of white. I'm like, why this ain't gray, but I see white. The thing was, I didn't want to do all black interior because that was too basic. I'm like, if I'm getting a luxury car like this, I can't do all gray. I mean, I can't do all black interior, right? I got to do a little something different. All right, cool. And the white was looking nice, but it said gray. So I was like, I need to see this in person. So I had one of my friends actually go with me, and we actually got there, and I'm looking at the actual car, and at first I see a red coupe, and I'm like, this is really nice, and I see the blue one over there. I'm like, oh yeah, this the one. So I told them, I'm here to see, I think guy name was Adam. I'm here to see Adam. They were like, okay, no problem, we'll get him. Give us like 15 minutes, he's on break or something like that. So I'm chilling, recording some videos. I post my story, the car and everything like that, the red coupe, and I'm looking at the blue one. I'm like, oh man, this is the one I'm looking at. You know, this one I'm looking to get. I'm telling my friend, like, you really finna walk over this? I'm like, if the number is crunching right, we can really talk about it. And it was listed for 85, which is right around that price range I was looking for. And
And I'm looking like, okay, like this is really, really nice. So I start looking around and I'm looking at the car. The guy comes, I'm like, okay, cool. Talking to him, he probably didn't take me serious once again because I'm so young in this luxury car, super sports car. And so I'm talking to him, he's like noticing that I'm really serious. I'm like, yo, like I'm willing to walk off with this car today if the numbers are right. He like, okay, cool. Like what would be right for you? I'm like, we're looking at 83 because of course you always want to try to negotiate as much as possible, but you really just can't really negotiate with the Corvettes. But I guess they had this one sitting there for a little bit, so they was willing to negotiate a little bit. And so I tell him 83. He said, we'll see what we can do. And he goes talk to his GM. And he comes back, he said, we can do 83.7. I'm like, okay, like I'm like, if we can go down a little bit, he like, yo, I already knocked it down a lot. Like, that's the best we can do. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, we shake on it. I'm gonna take it. I was so excited. I was like, yo, I'm really about to get a Corvette. It was so, man, it was crazy. So let me make sure I'm not missing anything. We got the, so far, I got the credit score, time frame, yes. So we crunched the numbers and everything. And after taxes, it was about $7,000 to $9,000 I had to pay for in taxes. Right, in taxes, $7,000 to $9,000, how much the taxes were. So after that, I was looking around, what was it? I was 93 after taxes, and I added an additional warranty for the seat protection. So I was looking around 92, 93, that range as well. Looking like total for protection on the seats and the taxes, I was at 92, 93. So I'm like, okay, at 92,000, I'm like, that's still pretty cool. You know, I'm thinking taxes was me a couple thousand, but they definitely tripled that. I'm like, you know what? It's cool. It's pretty. Everything is still pretty cool. At this point, I'm at I needed to be at 75. So what I had to put a down payment enough to just be right under that 75 so I can get finance for it. And down payment is going to be about 20 now. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? That's fine. I can still do 20. It's doubling what I initially wanted to do. But at this point, I'm like, yo, we crunching the numbers. I'm deep in. I'm like, I want this car. I'm walking off of this car. My mind is made up. I'm walking off of this car. So down payment was $19,000 exactly. How much I put down on the car. I put down $19,000 for that car with interest included. Interest rate was 7%, which is actually really amazing for this market we're in. You know, people get 7% for mortgages and all types of stuff like that, you know. So it's actually really good. 7% is what I got. Once again, I'm pretty young, 22 years old. And as y'all don't know too, it's all about your car history as well too. My previous car that was on my credit was my Camaro, which was literally $13,000. So to go from a $13,000 car to a $100,000 car was a vast difference. So me getting a pre-approval was already crazy. That's why a lot of banks didn't want to, and I'm young too, they didn't want to really pre-approve me for no crazy amounts, but this was perfect. I was good. And 75 was the max Capital One was actually willing to actually do. So once again, the reason why I was able to get pre-approved for this amount, even at such a young age, was because my income and because of my credit score. So that's why it's so important to make sure you get both of those right. So for anybody that wants to get their credit right and get their pockets right, I'll have 2 video links in the description down below. Go ahead, check them out. And this channel, that's why we talk about how to make money, how to invest, how to build credit. That's all we talk about. All right, so go ahead, make sure you subscribe for that if you're interested. You're gonna get your Corvette one day too, or what if your dream cars, whether that's a Hellcat, McLaren, Rolls Royce, all of that coming soon as well too. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure you give me a follow. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for the future uploads. All right, so we done got into interest rate, credit score, taxes. All right, now we're gonna talk about what the monthly payment is looking like. My monthly payment is $1,259 a month. That's how much I pay. $1,260 is how much I pay per month for this car, which is nothing, right? It's really nothing. And it's crazy to be able to say that because literally beginning of 2022, that's something I couldn't even do because, you know, I was making like $2,000 a month working my 9 to 5, right? With no OT, of course. If we're doing OT, I can make upwards of $5K, but how much I had to slave to make $5,000 a month was about literally working 72 hours a week, 70 to 80 hours a week to make $5K a month. So that's crazy. Now I can make that in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like now I can literally, one income source, one of my lowest income source couldn't produce that $5K a month without doing anything really. If you're interested in hearing more about that, let me know in the comments down below. I can do a video going more into my income streams as well too. I already got an old one, but that was from a year ago, which a lot has changed since then. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments down below. Now, what the insurance is looking like. Once again, I'm 22 years old, so the insurance is kind of up there. The insurance, which I don't think is actually too bad because at the end of the day, it's a Corvette. It's $450 a month is how much I pay. So what is that, like $1,700 a month between those two, or 17, 18, or around there? Monthly payments for the car in total is $1,700 to $1,800 a month. A little bit under 18 is how much I pay total for the car per month. And after after taxes, interest, all of that included. By the time I'm done with the car, I'm paying a little bit below $110,000 for this car by the time I'm done. I do plan on keeping it. At first, I was going to trade it for a McLaren in the future, but you know, of course, I'm put more for the McLaren. I actually, since this is my first kind of supercar, I think I'm gonna keep it just for the memory aspect of it, right? So I believe we cover everything: total car price, interest, credit score, monthly payment, total, and time it took. And just to kind of dive a little more deep into manifestation, like I was talking about in the previous clip, manifestation is really a big part of how I'm gonna achieve what I achieve here. I'm actually gonna grab the book right here so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about. This book right here, Think and Grow Rich, was actually one of the first books I read to actually help me make my first $100,000. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the comments down below so you can kind of check it out. I'm gonna purchase one of these books. I recommend having the actual hard copy itself so you can actually see it, physically touch it. It's gonna help you a lot more. The context of this book really helped me make my first $100,000. Of course, reading more books, experiences, networking, all of the reasons why I was able to even be able to purchase something like this and be in a position to make so much money at such a young age. It's been my dream since posting on YouTube to be able to be in a position to be living a luxurious lifestyle. Like you guys can see, I got some great views in my house right here. Penthouse, 22 years old. House tour coming soon as well too. So make sure you subscribe for that as well too. That will probably be my next video, house tour, because I've got great amenities in this building. So kind of show you guys and kind of motivate you guys. At the end of the day, everything I've learned, I was just a regular normal kid in high school doing pranks, challenges, vlogs, all of that. And now I'm in the position to be able to do videos like this, which is crazy. I was watching YouTubers do stuff like this. And now I'm the YouTuber doing this type of video. I'm still 22. I've always known I would be successful. And I've actually privated a lot of my videos. That can be a little video I do in the future, just kind of reacting to some of my old videos, something like that, if you guys are interested. Yeah, once again, just follow me in this journey. Road to 100,000 subscribers coming soon. So undoubtedly it's going to happen. So it's all up to God, manifestation, and everything of that sort. Make sure I'm working hard. The only reason why I haven't reached any goals is not because of anything other than me, right? Any goals I don't achieve, anything I fell at, it's literally because of me. Once again, because I know if I work towards those goals, I will undoubtedly achieve those goals, right? Inevitably, I will achieve those goals. It's all about working hard, sticking to it, staying consistent, because once I literally locked in on one business model, just kept going at it, grinding. Then the first 6 months, I would start making 5 figures a month just off of one business model at 21. You guys want to hear more about those stories, everything like that? I'm trying to make this a huge community. I'm trying to build my subscriber base up to eventually 1 million subscribers. And yeah, and I know it's going to happen. All of this stuff I'm saying is going to happen because I've proved myself time and time again that I can achieve anything that I put my mind to. So I shoot for the moon now, right? Because at the end of the day, how big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? I'm out.